My name is Jack Morton. I'm with americasprofessor.com. We teach people to prepare for the insurance licensing exam online. The insurance exam is a difficult exam in every state. Some states, it's tougher than others. Each state sets its pass score. So, for example, Virginia requires a score of 70% of the questions to be answered correctly to pass. Hawaii, on the other hand, is a 75, but Nevada requires a score of 80. So you need to know your state score and realize how tough this challenge is. But even a score of 70 is a real challenge to get through the exam. The exam has all A, B, C, D questions. The exam is given on a computer. You'll like the computer system. You can click on an answer, change an answer, skip an answer, go forwards and backwards. It's a good system. They've had enough experience with it that it works well. Unlike some exams, this is not a pressure exam. Time is not a factor. The typical person has twice as much time as they need to pass the exam. I've never talked to anybody who said they ran out of time. If they'd only had another 5 minutes, they would have passed the exam. The exam is written by one of two different companies, either Pearson VUE or Experior, although several states write their own exam, but most states buy their exam from Pearson VUE or Experior. There tend to be 4 exams, one for property insurance, and property insurance is simply homeowner and auto commercial fire insurance, casualty, which is liability insurance and auto insurance, life insurance, and health insurance. So those are 4 key topics. Usually you take a combined exam, property and casualty, or life and health. An issue that you might want to think about is, should you take the exam before you sign up with an insurance company you want to work for? I think it's impressive for you to have taken a course, passed the exam, and then walked into the insurance office and said, hey, I'm ready to go. I've done my homework. I'm ready to hit the ground running. But on the other hand, you might want to talk to your company first. Most companies are willing to hire you, take a chance, and fairly typically what they'll do is either pay for your licensing course ahead of time, or they'll say, you pay for the course, and then they'll reimburse you after you pass the exam. At least make them do that. You have a wide variety of choices of companies to go to work for. You can find out a lot by researching your company online. And online, most insurance companies list their regional recruiter. But you'll want to talk to a local agent and find out, is this a good company to work for? Have they treated you well? What are the retirement benefits? Do they provide health insurance? You'll want to know all of that before you sign up with an insurance company. The exam itself leaves something to be desired. I don't like the way the questions are written. I think they're rather vague. I don't like the fact that they tend to test on picky little stuff like number of dollars, number of days. So we need to figure out some tricky way to remember this stuff. Also, they don't like to test on the obvious stuff, like, pardon me for using my ice cream analogy, but they wouldn't test on vanilla ice cream because they know everybody knows what that is. But they would test on Spumoni ice cream because most people wouldn't know the ingredients to Spumoni. So what you need to do is learn the easy stuff, because you might see a question on it, but more likely know the picky stuff, the tricky stuff. If you look at a term in an insurance book and say, I have no idea what that is, it's not self-evident what that term is, then that's a prime candidate for an exam question. The exam questions tend to be short. The test writers don't like to write story problems. It's rare to see a question that's more than 1 or 2 sentences long at the most. The exams tend to be terminology questions, not fact situations. With the insurance exam, you really need to be solidly prepared when you go in, because otherwise the panic factor will set in. The good news is the cost of the exam itself is rather minimal, and the cost of the courses is as low as they could possibly be. So to take an exam costs you in most states $50 to $75. So it's not a huge expense. Some students will even go in and take the exam without having done any studying, just to get comfortable with the computer and who the proctors are before they come back and take the real exam. Our approach to this is to send you a book, and then we have streaming video online, so you'll follow along, listen to me tell stories about my wife Nancy or my other relatives, and use those to trigger your recall. You will highlight topics as I highlight them. Every once in a while in the book, I will write TQ for test question and have you put that beside that item in the book because you really need to know that. Then when we're through with each chapter, there's somewhere between 24 and 34 chapters in each book. When you're done with the chapter, then I've got a lot of sample questions for you to go through. And I'm amazed at how well we all learn by doing sample questions. But what I've discovered, which you know already, is that we learn by listening, we learn by reading, and we learn when we focus on something by highlighting it. We learn more when we make a note beside it, and then we really know we've learned it when we can handle those sample exam questions. And the sample exam questions are nuanced, so you pick up little fine points as you do the questions. For the tricky ones, I've got written explanations there. I hope this gives you a better understanding of what the insurance exam is like. If you have any questions, call our office on our toll-free number or check out our free sample video of our course, and we also have practice exams available.